Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the news that's happening in the economy, as well as going over the price of Bitcoin, other markets, and seeing if we are still seeing correlation. We're also going to see how Bitcoin is poised going into the weekend, if I am anticipating more upside or to see a pullback on Bitcoin. We actually had a run here on Bitcoin in the past few hours, so we're going to be getting to that in a moment. First, let's go ahead and get into the news. Silicon Valley stock will be delisted on March 28th. So quantitative easing is back, about 300 billion in assets added to the Fed balance sheet in the last week alone. Just absolutely unbelievable. US banks borrowed 164.8 billion from the Federal Reserve over the past week, and that is a new record. Let's see here. So SVB, they actually ended up filing for Chapter 11. Crypto YouTubers and social media influencers sued for $1 billion in a class action lawsuit for promoting FTX. So we know that's Meet Kevin. I believe BitBoy is part of that. Graham Stephan. I don't know if Andre Jink was part of that team or that group of people that promoted FTX as well, but that is what is coming. It's really unfortunate because all of these influencers always give people a disclaimer to do your own research, do your own due diligence. And unfortunately, people can't just take responsibility for their own actions, and they feel like they have to blame someone else. So I find this to be overwhelmingly pathetic. Inflation around the world: Venezuela 150%, Argentina 103%, Turkey 55%, Russia 11%, UK 10.1%. Germany is on the list, India and France all between 6 and 8%. The US, as we know, at 6%. That was just reported this week. Canada at 5.9%, Brazil, Indonesia, Japan, all between 4 and 5%. So inflation is happening across the board. So I've been actually thinking about doing a inflation video on Puerto Rico specifically. So if that's something that you want to see, go ahead and drop a comment down below. So ChatGPT prompts that will save you hours a day at work, ranked in order. So that's actually a pretty amazing thread. And so if you want to check this out, head over to my Twitter, look at my likes, and you'll be able to find all of these tweets that I'm talking about if you ever want to go back and reference any of them. So this is information coming from Celsius. Celsius will be reissuing and mailing 1099 miscellaneous forms for certain customers in the coming days. While revisiting its tax compliance reporting obligations, Celsius has determined that customers did not have dominion or control over rewards, bonuses, and other promotions paid between the platform pause date and the company's Chapter 11 filing. Following this determination, Celsius refreshed all data based on data validation and changed dates it originally used to calculate reward payments for 2022 from July 14th to June 12th. As a result, at these revisions, reward payments for customers may differ from the amount reflected on previously received 1099 forms that were mailed in January of this year. These forms will not be marked as corrected because Celsius has not yet submitted these values to the IRS. Only the updated and correct values for those amounts that meet the $600 threshold set by the IRS will be submitted. Disclaimer: this notification is not tax advice. Consult a professional before making decisions regarding your taxes. So Fidelity actually has now given all of their users access to buy and sell Bitcoin. This is huge. I'm not sure if people are actually buying legit Bitcoin or if they're able to remove it from the platform. I'm guessing probably not. People think this is big news. I don't really find it to be overwhelmingly bullish. I wouldn't say that's the reason why we have seen Bitcoin pump. I really wouldn't say that. Just because Bitcoin is now available for purchase on Fidelity, if someone really wanted to buy Bitcoin, they've had plenty of time to do it. And just because it became available on Fidelity, in my opinion, is not going to pump the price out of control. So 50,000 BTC worth 1.2 billion has been deposited to known crypto exchange wallets in the last 96 hours. So First Republic Bank crashed 35%, that was yesterday, on the open as they announced exploring strategic options, including a sale. Credit Suisse share price down over 24% at the session close. That was 2 days ago. So Before I move on to the price of Bitcoin, I quickly want to mention iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital is actually a way for you to buy Bitcoin now, not pay any taxes on the gains, and you're able to withdraw your Bitcoin at 59.5. Most people actually, when they try to trade, they typically trade at a loss because they forget to calculate taxes, the tax implications with every individual trade. If you actually trade within your IRA account, you do not pay any taxes on those trades, so it is a non-taxable event. You can get started with just $1,000 to start an iTrust Capital account. You can buy Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, as well as precious metals. And you can also actually transfer an existing retirement account that you have over to iTrust Capital. And when you use my link down below, you actually get $100 in free Bitcoin. So make sure you check that out. So over to the price of Bitcoin. Let's see where things are at. We're going to be going over Bitcoin, traditional markets, marijuana stocks, always keeping an eye on Tilray, Tesla, constantly keeping those in the mix. We have Bitcoin sitting at $26,873. It is up over 7% on the day. We have Ethereum at $17.47. We're currently seeing more strength from Bitcoin than we are from Ethereum. Gold's up 3.49%. Gold is absolutely crushing it at $19.88. Coinbase stock, oh my goodness, big jump from the past few days, up to $74.98. So we are seeing a huge jump off of the bottom. This is actually reminding me of back when COVID happened, that date in March when everything crashed. We also saw, obviously, with like the FTX crash as well, those are amazing buying opportunities. So when Silicon Valley Bank basically announced what was happening, that it was going under, that was the time to buy. Those dates when really negative news is happening, those seem to be great times to buy, and the market is recovering really nicely after that. We have DOT sitting at 639, Link sitting at 707. So we're seeing green across the board. Incredible. Across many different coins. Let's go ahead and look at the charts here when it comes to Bitcoin to see how it's going to look moving forward. And so I do believe Bitcoin might be going up a little bit too quickly. I would have liked to see a 4-candle pullback here before this giant candle, but let's go and look at lower level time frames to see what's happening. This is a daily chart looking good. Would probably anticipate a few more days of upside. Bitcoin is going to, do its own thing over the weekend, not going to correlate with traditional markets. So I could see actually Bitcoin having a decently strong weekend. This right here is a 12-hour chart, slight pullback. Let's see if it can make, actually it is already made a higher high on the 12-hour chart. Let's look at the 4-hour here. 4-hour looking strong, a little bit exhausted. Would anticipate a pullback maybe to the low $26,000 range before it makes another leg up. So Bitcoin looking extremely strong going into the weekend here. Saw a bit of a pullback here and Bitcoin ready to make higher highs. Let's take a look here at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart looking a little bit on the weaker side, not looking as good as the other time frames that we've covered so far. 15-minute chart actually looking quite good over here. We have a green 2 trading above a green 1. Let's go and take a look here at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart here. Looking decent as well. A little bit of sideways trading, a little bit of a lower low. Would like to see Bitcoin get above the high of this candle. The high of this candle right here is 26,932, and this candle is at 26,915. Like I said, Ethereum is trailing behind Bitcoin when it comes to strength. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So I am anticipating Bitcoin to probably have a little bit more of a pump, a little bit more of strength going into the weekend. Let's take a look here at electric vehicle stocks. A lot of red across the board, so not as much correlation when you see electric vehicle stocks next to crypto related stocks. We have Tesla sitting at 180. Let's go ahead and take a look here at marijuana stocks. Marijuana stocks, not as much green across the board. We're seeing a lot more green coming from the Bitcoin space. Probably the QE news that came out is actually doing Bitcoin a big favor on the bullish news. We have Tilray sitting at 261. Let's take a look here at traditional stocks. Not electric vehicle, but majors. Let's take a look here at SPY. SPY sitting at 389 99. Let's zoom all the way out to the 7-day chart, and then we'll continue to look at the lower level time frames. So let's see here. If SPY can hold the low of this candle right here, so a very critical line in my opinion is 374.77. This red 2 has not started to trade below the red 1 quite yet. So the 7-day chart on SPY is still in a bullish posture. The daily chart though, not looking nearly as good. SPY needs to make a higher high on the daily chart and start trading above the high of this candle right here, which is 407.45. Very critical to be keeping an eye there. Let's take a look here at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart looking much better than those other time frames. And see on the daily chart here, let's see, this right here, this candle that made a higher high was yesterday the 16th. So we're seeing a bit of a pullback here. Want to see SPY hold 383 and make a higher high and get above this candle right here, which is 396.15. A weakness on the 30-minute chart when it came to the closing of this week. Let's take a look here at the 5-minute chart. So 5-minute chart didn't close all that well. So like I said, I do think that Bitcoin has a lot of momentum going into the weekend. It has the ability to do its own thing. It's not going to be correlating as much when it comes to traditional stocks, which is always a positive thing. So like I said, I have a link down below if you want to get started with iTrust Capital. Also, I have a link for Calendly if you want to do a 30-minute call with me. That's all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.